Hello, beautiful cross-watcher for Aries. I am Elena Valdez. I'm here to do the July cross-watcher read. So this is for those of you who are wanting to cross-watch for Aries. Now, most of these readings are about love, right? Or at least the people coming to these readings for cross-watching are based on love, but not always. You can also be here if it's maybe something relating to your sibling, your parents, potentially, somebody you work with maybe, or someone you just met. You may even be able to get some info about someone who doesn't even know you have a crush on them, right? So again, it's a cross-watcher read. So remember, this is not about you, this is about them, okay? So in this case, you're cross-watching for Aries. So here we go. We're gonna start with the vibe. What is the vibe here in July for Aries? What vibe is Aries in? And I have the Ten of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Devil. So, you know, this is interesting energy because it's that kind of energy of I'm over the BS. I'm so done with it. I'm underwhelmed with anybody's toxic crap. Really, that's what this is, okay? And let me tell you, I know a few Aries, myself included, and that's exactly where we are, okay? Please know this is not a biased reading, but that's the energy that's going on collectively with the Aries community, okay, with the Aries collective. So yes, so it's Ten of Swords, Four of Cups, and the Devil. So the energy that the Aries is in right now, dear cross-watcher, is very much, show me something more interesting than the BS. Very much wanting something that's deeper, right? Like this is boring. This whole lying, manipulating, whether it's at work, whether it's with love, whether it's whatever it is, fill in the blanks, whatever you are here for, that's the vibe, the Aries vibe here in July. Like, so over it. If you don't have anything better than toxicity, lies, manipulation, then don't come around me at all. Again, doesn't matter what relationship this is. It's the same vibe across the board, okay? Now, how they view you here is the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and Death. So a couple of ways this can be read, okay? First and foremost, there is a sense of respect here. I always think of the King of Swords as the way we view someone, as someone that we actually do respect, someone that we hold in high esteem in terms of their intelligence, their communication skills. And I have a sense that for some of you, you actually work with Aries and you're trying to figure out if you should go into a project with them, if you should collaborate in something. And the way they see you as someone who's got all the answers. They see you as someone who they respect, who is intelligent, who is revered even. And then with the Four of Wands, they see you as someone who can create stability while also having fun and having respect for security and that kind of thing. And someone who is very bold and deep, right? Like the Rebirth card, this is someone, the way someone sees you, they see you as someone who is not surface. So the cards I'm getting for how Aries views you, cross-watcher, are very positive, okay? So far, I've read this from the perspective of it can be any relationship, right? Because again, a lot of you are here for different perspectives. Now, let's read that a little bit deeper as if we were in an actual relationship with Aries, a romantic relationship. With the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Rebirth, there's a feeling here that Aries feels like you're not really sure. As steady and stable as you are, there's a sense here that potentially any potential of stability here has quite literally ended, right? So if you were someone that they were with previously, they did hold you in high regard and they did want to share something with you, right? But for whatever reason, it has ended. If you are new into the picture, so if you're somebody who's newly dating Aries, or maybe you have a crush on them and what have you, again, it's the same energy. It's the energy of Aries looking at you, or if they haven't even met you yet, the way they would view you if you met would be with great esteem and lots of respect, but maybe not sure if you're here for the long haul, right? Maybe not sure, although with the Death card, it's an indication that you can go deep with someone, but it doesn't necessarily have the lasting power, right? Because anytime relationships come in under the pretext or the context of death and rebirth, they're meant to quickly transform us. They're meant to come in, teach us something, and leave, right? So that may have been the relationship here with you and Aries, or what, regardless, again, if it's romantic, sibling, whatever, it may have been that dynamic of quick learning, maybe even tough love with the King of Swords, because the King of Swords is tough love, or it can be tough love along with the Queen of Swords. But in any case, Crosswatcher, regardless of how they view you and what kind of relationship this is, the vibe that Aries is in is kind of like, just don't come near me unless you got something above average to share with me, or to give me, or to talk about, okay? And to have gotten to that point tells me that Aries, the Aries that you're here for, has faced some disappointment, right? Like there's been some disappointment in the past. There's been some just disillusionment, and they're kind of over it. All right, beautiful. Thank you for being here. I'm moving on to Taurus. All right, Taurus. Hi, how are you? This is actually, if you're here cross-watching for Taurus. So it's for anyone cross-watching for Taurus. Most of the time, these readings are from the perspective of romantic relationship. However, you can come to these cross-watcher readings for any type of relationship, including work, neighbors, siblings, friends, that kind of thing, exes, crushes, and whatever comes out, comes out. All right, so for those of you cross-watching for Taurus, in terms of the vibe that Taurus is in here in the month of July, we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the World, and we have the Seven of Cups. So Taurus right now is all about expansion. I mean, and when are they not, right? But I do feel like Taurus are very good at conserving their energy. So they do have seasons where they're not hustling as much, right? They have seasons where they conserve their energy and they're enjoying the fruits of the labor more than other times. This energy here with the Ten of Pentacles, the World, and Seven of Cups, it makes me think that the Taurus that you're here for is in that place of wanting to reap the benefits of all of their hard work, including travel, leisure. And the Taurus that you're here for has lots of options. So if you're an employer or somebody who wants to work with the Taurus, Taurus is sort of like, I'm not sure, because I may potentially want to work maybe somewhere else that's more culturally diverse, because this is about diversity also. Or potentially that's what your Taurus wants right now. Your Taurus has already achieved this Ten of Pentacles lifestyle and wants more adventure out in the world, right? So regardless of your relationship with this Taurus, this is the vibe of everything, having it all, the travels, the luxury, the diversity, the yummy yummies, all of that. That's the vibe that they are in. But let's see how they're viewing you. They're viewing you as the Devil, the Three of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. If this is romantic, beautiful, they're not seeing you very long term. If this is a romantic situation or like a crush, they're potentially seeing you as somebody that they can have fun with, that they can travel with, that they can go out and, do this world energy with here with the Three of Wands. But they're not really seeing you as somebody who can maybe be serious enough for them. Where they would not be carrying more of a load with, right? And this can also apply like if you're a friend, if you are a coworker, somebody they work with, I'm not seeing anything here that makes me think that they see you as somebody for long term, whether it's work, romantic, crush, what have you. If anything, they're seeing you as someone who, if they were to remain for longer than an adventure, this would become more of a burden for them. Okay. The other flip side of this can be that they're also just seeing you as someone who is very fleeting, as someone who kind of, yeah, packs up your bags and goes once you've had the fun and, you know, the adventure that you seek. They're not seeing you as somebody who's very stable here. They're not seeing you as someone that has long-term. I just don't see that. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to Gemini. Hello, those of you cross-watching for Gemini. This is for July. This is the Crosswatcher read for July. We're going to keep it simple this month. And most people come to Crosswatcher reads to learn about someone they have a crush on, someone they're dating, spouse, all of that. But really, you can watch these for anything. So for your siblings, your friends, yes, most of it is going to be from a romantic perspective. But you can sometimes find information here if you're dealing with, you know, an issue with like a coworker or something, or a neighbor, what have you. All right. So what is the vibe that Gemini is in here during July, and how do they view you? Okay. So a couple of things. So the vibe that your Gemini is in is very much about seeking only that which brings pleasure. Seeking that which brings pleasure, but not just pleasure, but like stability, stable pleasure, tangible pleasure, feeling good about where they live, what they drive, the family, the community, their children, the types of dinners they're going out having. They're not really burdened right now with, well, there's two storylines. We have a group of Geminis here who are not really burdened or don't necessarily want to be bothered with what's up ahead in terms of growth and in terms of not having to worry about what may or may not go well in the future or may not end in the future. That's for one group of Geminis. Then there's the other group of Gemini that quite literally recently had an ending. And it was a difficult ending. And potentially they're still in it. You see how the 10 of Wands is literally walking into death and rebirth? So for some of the Geminis that you're here for, they've gone through an ending recently. This can be a breakup. This could be an ending of a position. This could be a move somewhere different, a loss of community. But in any case, because this 10 of Wands is still moving into the death card, it tells me that a lot of the Gemini that you're here for is still going through some transition period, some transformation phase that's happening here. They're not completely out of whatever this ending is, but they are very much focused on this energy, which is about happiness at home, with their kids, with their friends, with their spouse, if they have one. You may be the spouse. I don't know, right? Because I have no idea who's cross-watching. So in terms of how they see you, you may actually work with them here with the 3 of Pentacles. But we have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, and the 8 of Swords. This is how they see you, okay? So they see you as someone, maybe you work together with the 3 of Pentacles, but also they see you as somebody who's maybe guarded, a bit defensive. Maybe you have anxiety, or you're somebody who's gone through something recently, or maybe some kind of collaboration that you did together here with the Gemini didn't go well, right? Like there was an attempt to work together, but it didn't go well. And so now you're feeling sort of like you just don't trust them, or you're anxious, you're missing them, or maybe if you are someone who is still with them, if you are in a relationship with them, whether it's working or what have you, they can sense that you're nervous about it. Like you have some anxiety and maybe questioning whether or not you can work with them. They sense that about you. They sense that you're sort of like, oh my gosh, am I good enough? Am I, romantic enough? Am I working hard enough? Depending on where you're at in the relationship spectrum. Okay. So, let me see if I can pull some advice for you. I feel like you need advice for this, which I haven't done for the others. So let's see. What's the advice for the cross-watching for Gemini? Yeah, so the advice here, the Star, the Four of Swords, 2 cards of healing, and the King of Pentacles. This tells me that your advice is to be patient with the Gemini, allow them to go through whatever it is they're going through, their healing process. Be patient, be cool, have the confidence. This is especially about having confidence here. So I really am picking up that for some of you, there's a lack of confidence in whatever your role is here with Gemini. So, and it may help actually to talk to them. But in any case, let's move on. All right, we are now moving on to Cancer, and this is for the cross-watchers for Cancer. Anyone cross-watching for Cancers? And as I told the other signs, most of the time people come to cross-watcher reads from a romantic perspective, but you can watch this from any other perspective, coworker, sibling, what have you, and you may get some helpful info there. So the vibe that your Cancer is in during the month of July is the King of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. Very focused and very clear about the money that they're making, very clear about their groundedness, creating independence, financial independence more specifically, knowledge, also working on their body, but more so working on their pentacles. So literally working on the tangibles, whether it's on their home, their money, their career, their stability, learning new skills. And they're very focused and they're very clear. And they're also very concerned with whether or not relationships around them are reciprocal. That's a huge concern for Cancers right now. This energy feels very independent, which is interesting, right? Because Cancer is usually more emotional. As I'm reading this, we're coming up here towards the Cancer new moon. So it's interesting. There's almost like this rebirth that Cancer is going through right now, and a huge reevaluation of their life as a whole. But the Cancer that you're here for is very focused, very serious here with this King of Swords. And also there's a cerebral element to this. They're learning something new. They're gaining new experience and new knowledge in an area of their life. And so that's got them pretty busy. This is like busy. This is like energy. It's very solo energy, but it's very focused and like not bored energy and not lonely, just like very focused, okay? Now, in terms of how they view you, we got the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. Wow. Ooh-wee. Well, they definitely think you're attractive if this is romantic, okay? They definitely see you. The Queen of Wands to the Emperor, this is divine coupleship here, okay? Actually, it's a couple of things. In the romantic aspect, this is definitely the energy of attraction. This is the energy of fiery connection, a lot of sensuality, or at least the feeling of that towards you. They see you as someone who's very attractive, okay? Now, if this is about work or some other type of relationship, there is a sense here that they respect your leadership, they respect your ideas, they respect your individualism and your affect that you have on people. And they also respect and admire how creative and how authentic you are. And by the way, this can also apply in the romantic aspect, even if it's not just work. But here with the Eight of Wands, they may also kind of picture you, because it's complete opposite energy here from the Pentacles. The Pentacles is very stable, paired with the King of Swords. They're very stable, they're solid. They see you as like the whole ball of fire with this energy, right? They see you as someone that's like, potentially disruptive, potentially, depending on who you are. I mean, look at the difference in colors here. Blues, greens to reds and purples and yellows. That's all. This is all sacral solar plexus, right? This is heart chakra, but also focus on rooted things, right? So it's interesting. I get the sense here that the Cancers that you are here for, even though they're focused on their own solo journey, they're getting a kick out of you. They're actually intrigued. That's what I will say. They feel very intrigued by you. And this is regardless of the connection. But especially if this is romantic or a potential to date. I just felt that for some of you, you haven't even gone on a first date yet. But if you ask them out, they're going to say yes. That's what I'm hearing. All right, let's move on to Leo. Hello, Leo. This is your, actually, no, I'm not saying hello to Leo. I'm saying hello to the Crosswatcher who is here for Leo. So you're here cross-watching for Leo. And this is for the month of July. And you can watch this for romantic, friends, neighbors, siblings. The relationship for whom you're cross-watching for can be very different, right? Most of the time it's romantic though. But in any case, let's see what vibe the Leo that you're tuning in for is in here in the month of July. King of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Hermit. Okay, so your Leo here is very, very focused in the realm of community, sisterhood, connection. But it's interesting, right? Because this energy, the Three of Cups, is cocooned, cushioned, or bookended, I should say, by the King of Pentacles and Hermit. So there's this interesting sense that your Leo that you're here for is very focused on spiritual things, introspection, very stable, and at the same time building community and focus on community. It's like they're balancing those two things, right? I don't get a lot of romantic or sensual or sexual energy. I get this more as what's more interesting to the Leo that you're tuning in for is community, platonic friendships, friendships that help them grow financially. There's a huge emphasis on that here. There's a huge emphasis, and not just emphasis, but it's something that's making them feel secure and comfortable at the moment. And there's a sense, I'm tuning into their energy right now, and it feels very cozy, but like not boring cozy, like cozy and I've got everything I need cozy, while also making room for friendships and community. So this is a very beautiful energy that your Leo is in here. But let's see how they view you. How does the Leo view the Crosswatcher? The Queen of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so while they view you as someone who is beautiful with lots of energy, maybe you're somebody who's very spiritual, very creative, very inspiring, very fiery, you know, just a lot of energy. They see you as this, like, definitely as an attractive person, but they also see you as someone who's maybe confused, or maybe has some burdens in their life right now. So it's like this kind of counters this energy, right? Like they see you as this abundant energy, yet at the same time, while they see you as this beautiful, lovely energy that they're drawn to, they also feel like you kind of come with some complexities. Like you're kind of bringing some headaches and confusion from the past, it feels like here. And so, you know, because they're seeing you as somebody who's amazing in energy, but blocked in mind. That's how I'm going to put it. That's how they see you. And so that's going to cause a little bit of a block, right? Regardless if this is about romantic, friendship, or what have you. So I think they'd rather not go into this if it's going to be too confusing, because they're in a very lovely, expansive energy right now. So if you are in this energy where you have a lot of confusion, you're not sure, you're still kind of stuck in the past about someone else, or kind of stuck about them, you're not sure, you probably want to do best unblocking that, figuring out how to come out of that energy. Otherwise, they're not gonna move your direction. That's the energy I'm getting. And that is regardless of what kind of relationship you're tuning in for. Okay? All right, so now let's move on. Okay, so now we are moving into those of you who are cross-watching for Virgo. So those of you who are curious about what your Virgo is doing here in the month of July. Now, this can be for romantic, this can be friendships, siblings, what have you. Okay, most of you are here for romantic purposes. Also, if you're somebody who just has a crush on someone, and maybe this person doesn't even know you have a crush on them. Okay, let's see. Let's find out. All right, so what vibe is Virgo in here in the month of July? 5 of Wands, 4 of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, so 5 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. Your Virgo is currently focusing on something that they're not focusing on love right now. They're focusing on something that's a bit competitive, potentially making more money. It's almost like this is the feeling of they're working hard on something that's going to bring them advancement. And they're working hard with the help of other people, potentially. Potentially, your Virgos are in competition or in rivalry with their friends or other business owners or other people in their field, whether it's creative or business. Whatever it is that your Virgo is into, they're sort of like, there's a feeling that they're in this momentary place of like the rat race. That's what this is, right? And the reason is because they're trying to balance their tangibles. They're trying to balance their physical body, their money, their income, their businesses, their homes, all of that, okay? And because of that, they're underwhelmed in the sense of they don't really have the emotional part, the emotional fulfillment quite in place yet. I do get the sense that they want it, but I don't get the sense that there's time for that. I feel like with this rat race card next to the 6 of Pentacles, it feels like they're very focused on that. And they're very goal oriented right now is what I'm getting. They're working hard and they really want to stabilize financials. But look at this little sad face. I feel like the Virgos that you're tapping into here or tuning in for kind of wish that they had something, that they kind of want some kind of joy, but there's no time. All right, so let's see how they view you. How does Virgo view the Crosswatcher? Let's see. King of Pentacles, you're somebody who's very stable. The Moon, they quite can't figure you out yet. And Judgment. Ooh, okay. So look at these. Look at how similar these two cards are. The Moon and Judgment. And then, but the interesting thing is that it starts off with the King of Pentacles, which is very different from those two energies, the Moon and Judgment. So the way they view you is someone who really knows their worth. They view you, Virgo views you, Crosswatcher, as someone who really has got their life together. And they're almost wondering if you even need them here with the Moon and the Judgment. There's a feeling of with this Judgment card gives me the sense that there's a feeling of longing, but like the kind of longing that you can never truly have. And that's not the definition of the Judgment card, by the way. But in this deck, in this context, right now, in this reading for Virgo, that's the energy I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on like that's how they see you. So either you were someone that they once had a longing for, but couldn't figure you out, or something about this connection didn't resolve into anything, didn't really truly manifest. It's almost like the feeling of not being able to grasp something in both of these images, right? It's almost like wanting to grasp your soul from outside of you instead of inside of you. And so I feel like this could be friendship. This could be current spouse, current relationship. This could be crush. This could be one of those situations that never did happen, never came to be, but there was a desire for it, potentially from both sides as well. And another part of this too is that the Virgo that you're tuning in for may also potentially see you as someone who doesn't quite know what you want. The inability of making decisions for yourself, even though you're very stable, even though they respect you and have high regard for you in this manner, and the matters of the tangibles. But the emotional parts seem to be a bit just inaccessible for them, if that makes sense. All right, so let's move on. Thank you, Crosswatcher. Let's move on to Libra. So this is for those of you cross-watching for Libra for the month of July. And you can watch this from the perspective of romance, friendship, coworker, just a neighbor that you're being nosy about. But most of the time, this is going to be romantic, though. That's most of the cross-watchers, that's what they're watching for. All right, so let's see here, dear cross-watcher, what vibe is your Libra, your beautiful Libra in here in the month of July? We have the Ten of Swords, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Four of Cups. Oh my gosh, I don't like this energy. Look, it's so sad. There's a focus here. There's a focus. With the center card, the Five of Wands, I often feel this card as like the rat race card, right? Or the rat race in the sense that, you know, we're focused on something. We're focused on a goal. And it's the goal that we're focused on comes with competitors, rivals. So there's a little bit of like a rat race energy in that because of that, right? So your Libra, beautiful crosswatcher, has come out of a difficult situation here recently and is now focused on a goal. And the goal is very specific to them. They're putting a lot of energy into this, a lot of focus, but so much so that on the element of the love side, the emotional side, there's an underwhelmment here. There's this feeling of, what is it all worth? What is this whole rat race? What is this go, 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 work hard, work hard? Ugh, where is my emotional fulfillment at? So there's a little bit of a feeling of loss here, a little boredom, a little like, what's next? And so even though they're working hard on something that does fuel them, this is something, whatever they're focused on is something that is highly interesting to them and inspiring to them. And that's why they're fueled with energy to go towards it. And at the same time, there's a sense of, what is it all for? Right? So in terms of how they view you, beautiful cross watcher, let's see, how is the Libra viewing the cross watcher? Two of Cups, Seven of Swords, and the Sun. You may have been potentially a love, or you are a love that they're feeling is maybe not being truly honest with them, or maybe even someone who has gotten away with something. But they are seeing you as someone that they either once had a relationship with, or someone that maybe they haven't had a relationship yet, or a romantic encounter with, if you will, because there's a little bit of a trust issue here. And with the Sun, though, they do see you as some, first of all, there's attraction here, and there is a curiosity here with the Sun. So the Libra that you're inquiring about definitely sees you as a potential romantically. If you've already had a romantic situation with them, you know, they see you as somebody who still holds, it's almost like there's still some kind of a thread there. There's still a thread of connection through the solar, that solar connection. To me, that's connected to all the chakras. But there's something that if it's currently happening, they see you as someone that maybe is not on the up and up about something, or they see you as someone who sees them in that light. And there's, as much as they want this beauty, right? You have the Two of Cups and you have the Sun bookcasing this not so nice energy. And that's hard, right? Because it's, as much as there's this attraction, because clearly there's a romantic attraction here, but not really the trust. So, yeah. All right, let's move on. So let's move on now to Scorpio. And hello, Scorpio. Let's see. Actually, this is for the Crosswatcher, the person cross-watching for Scorpio for the month of July. Let's see. What is the energy? And this can come in way of, it can be romantic, it can be platonic, it can be friendship, co-workers. But most of you are here about love, I know, or romance. Okay, so let's see. What is the Scorpio vibe here in July? The Crosswatcher wants to know. All right, we have the Fool, the King of Swords, and the Five of Swords. This is so funny because on the one hand, the Scorpio you're tuning into is so clear and so focused and knows exactly how and what they want. And on the other hand, they're not. It's almost like they're very clear about one particular thing in their life, but then there's something else that's plaguing them. But in any case, they're starting off almost like on a new path here. And the new path, you know, since it's followed here by swords, it could be that they're following a new path towards an air sign or a new path with clarity here, which is interesting. A new path with clarity, but yet that clarity brings headache, right? So there's like this really mixed bag of energy with the Scorpio here in July, my beautiful Crosswatcher. It's like they're free. They have been liberated in some area of their life. And that liberation came with lots of focus, lots of clarity, lots of boundaries, lots of intellectual and communicative effort to make it happen, whatever this new liberation, this new life is. And while it gave all that stable clarity, it's also causing some internal mayhem here. Like, oh, now what? Okay, so now I've made this decision, I've taken the steps towards it, but now what about the next steps, right? It's like the equivalent of, okay, I'm leaving this marriage and it's done, it's not working, I'm clear, I have my boundaries. Then you move out and you're like, oh crap, where am I going to live next, right? Like it's that kind of energy. And of course, that's just an example. It's going to be different for every Scorpio. But that's what the Scorpio you're tuning in for is dealing with, okay? That complexity. So let's see how they see you or how they view you, Crosswatcher, here in the month of July. How does Scorpio view the Crosswatcher? Interesting. Some of you may work with this person or have attempted collaboration or to come together previously. Okay, they see you as someone though who has a lot of options. They see you as someone who maybe flip-flops a little bit, trying to figure out what you want potentially. Okay, they also see you as somebody who's got lots of energy. They are definitely attracted to you. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, if it's a collaborative thing or you're a neighbor, you're a friend, they're attracted to your energy is what I mean. If it is romantic, then yes, absolutely. It's a more of a sensual, sexual kind of physical attraction, right? But there is a feeling here that they see you as someone not really making up your mind about how you want to move forward and how you want to work together. And again, this can apply romantic, friendship. I'm also seeing a lack of, it's interesting. It's like you have the energy here as somebody who can take initiative, but it's looking to them, even though you have every ability to take initiative, you're not really taking charge, and you're getting stuck in the deciding phase. You're getting stuck in the maybe the planning phase, or the making it too perfect phase, if that makes sense. It's almost like, well, I want to come see them, but do I want to travel on a Monday or do I want to travel on a Wednesday? And which would be better? Which would have less traffic? Like, getting so stuck on the details that really don't matter at this point, that it's making it seem like you can't move forward with your energy. And potentially that's like, they want to see more of the action, because you have it. You have the ability to do that. But, it's kind of like, okay, do it already so we can be here working together and collaborating. Okay, so for some of you, this can also be working on a project with them where you're not really making up your mind as to what parts of the project you want to do and you want them to do. But a lot of this is more romantic, okay? For those of you who this is a crush, because I'm feeling like this is a crush, just do it already. I think some of you work with this Scorpio and you have a crush on them and you're not moving forward to make a move. Make them move already. Just do it. All right. Let's move on we're moving on now to Sagittarius. Hello, you cross-watcher for Sagittarius. This is for anyone who is cross-watching for the Sagittarius, whether it's from a romantic perspective, a friendship perspective, a friendly coworker perspective, a crush, maybe something else, I don't know. Maybe you're someone's boss, spying on them. Shame on you if you are. Get out of here. All right, so let's see what vibe Sagittarius is in here in the month of July. What vibe is Sagittarius? And ooh, the Hermit, the Strength, and the Emperor. And very much loner energy, but like purposeful loner energy. This is high vibe. I'm kind of doing my own thing, focusing on my capabilities, focusing on my skills, focusing on the things that I believe in, focusing on the people, spaces, and things that see my shine, that see my skill, that see my value. And that's the only place I want to be. I mean, that's really the energy that Sagittarius is in here in the month of July, according to these cards. And it's a very introspective energy, and they're all major arcanas. So I think the Sagittarius that you're tuning in for here, they're good. Like, they're pretty complete is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that they have pretty good balance on their own self-worth, their self-love, what they need to thrive with the Emperor. They're really testing leadership abilities like they've never tested before, or maybe in a bit more focused way. There's a huge transition that's also maybe recently happened in their lives with so much major arcana, or is about to happen, but it's almost like they're seamlessly moving into that energy. And part of the reason is because they're being quite loner. It's like that beautiful loner energy, but it's not lonely loner. It's quite feeling really good about themselves kind of loner. And that doesn't mean, by the way, that they can't be with someone. It doesn't mean that they can't be in a relationship with someone. It doesn't mean that they're not in a relationship with someone. It just means that their life is pretty complete right now. They're bossing up. They're showing up like the boss. They're leading in whatever field they're in. They're feeling good about who they are, how they're showing up. And they're also making time for spirituality, introspection, and whatever the divine is for them, whatever they connect to spiritually. So it's a beautiful energy. It's like the kind of energy that's not lacking. It's balanced. That's what's going on with your Sag here in July. All right, let's see how they are viewing you. How is the Sag viewing the Crosswatcher? The Seven of Wands, the Moon, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so a couple of things. Either A, you've never even gone out with the Sagittarius, or you're someone from the past, or you are someone who is with them, but are very boundaried, very confused, and creating a lot of like smoke and mirrors, or a lot of confusion and nominal conversation here with the Ace of Swords, or minimal conversation, I should say. And so there are a couple of things. For those of you where this is friendship, because I do pick up that there are some fallen friendships here that have happened. And there's the way they're viewing you is somebody who either got very defensive about a situation, and it revolved around something feeling illusionary, or something feeling like someone wasn't maybe being honest about something, or maybe hiding some information. And therefore that's minimized maybe the conversation between the two of you, or even just your usual day-to-day conversation that you're used to having. And this can actually apply to romantic as well. So maybe something happened here where it caused some confusion, and it can be you, potentially Crosswatcher, that's just feeling like you don't have a grasp on the Sagittarius. And I think the reason you don't have a grasp on the Sagittarius is because they're pretty complete. And it's almost like you're not hearing or feeling the mushies, the emotional, I need you, I want you, I love you things. And so it's making you a little bit like guarded. So, but either way, the way they're viewing you, regardless of whether something happened or didn't happen, or is just misunderstandings, because I do feel there's some huge misunderstandings here that have taken place between your connection. Huge misunderstandings based on murkiness, based on someone's presumptions, assumptions of things that weren't really happening. Also the inability of communicating and bringing up those issues to talk about them. So it's created a wall between the two of you. And regardless of what kind of connection this is, okay? So just talk about it. I know it's easier said than done, right? But here's what I think you need to know, whoever's cross-watching for Sagittarius, is they're not ignoring you. They're not doing anything on purpose. They're not rejecting you. That's what it is. Some of you feel rejected by the Sagittarius. They're not purposely rejecting you, Crosswatcher. It's that the Sagittarius is just kind of full. Yeah, they're fine. And they're just in that space with the Hermit too, right? They're in that space of introspection. So yeah. All right. Let's move on now. Let's move on to those of you cross-watching for the Capricorn. Hello, cross-watchers for the Capricorn. How are you? I hope you're doing very well. And this is, you can cross-watch for romantic purposes, for friendship, coworker. Maybe you're a nosy neighbor, a nosy boss. Okay. Let's see, what vibe is the Capricorn in here during the month of July? We got the Page of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. This is beautiful energy. You know, lately Capricorns are coming into a state of more emotional, you know, Capricorns are typically not so, and this is a generality, yes, I know, but Capricorns aren't typically too in their feels. And the readings that I've been doing lately, I've seen this progression of like really opening up. And it's interesting because that's the energy here with the Page of Cups, is about being open to new creative things. This is very creative, by the way, the Page of Cups. So you may be dealing with a Capricorn cross-watcher that's very beautifully enticed right now by the creative around them, okay? And your Capricorn may be in a place right now where maybe they're holding on to their tangibles a bit more than usual. And maybe they're not as focused on the tangibles as they typically are, like the work, the grind, all of that, because they're more focused on creative pursuits here. So there may be some, I'm feeling, I don't know that it's necessarily a financial issue that they're having as much as maybe conserving finances. Like maybe they're not sharing as much because they can't right now. They need to conserve what they have. So it's not for lack, it's more for conservation, right? And so they're also very much guarding their time, space, and energy because they're more focused on emotional matters right now. And also with this King of Cups is very spiritually connected, but very spiritually connected to their creative. So I feel like the Capricorn that you're tapping into right now is very much searching for new ways of showing emotion and learning, because this is also the card of the student, right? So the Capricorn that you're tapping into may potentially have come into a new way of feeling. So they're learning how to feel probably for the first time in a long time. They're learning how to allow themselves to play and be more creative. And it's fitting them quite beautifully, right? So it's giving them the sense of, I just see peace. And also, just a side note, because I see a lot of water here. So your Capricorn may be more drawn to water than usual. Okay, so that may be important for some of you, especially if you're planning like a trip with your Capricorn, or if you're a spouse or a partner or a friend who wants to do something special for them. Water seems to be very healing right now for Capricorns because the ruling planet, Saturn, is in Pisces at this time. And so they're very much being healed by many things right now of the past. And water could be very healing for them. All right. So in terms of how they see you the Ten of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So a couple of things here. They may be seeing you as somebody who's very busy. Okay, Crosswatcher, Capricorn may be seeing you as somebody who's very focused in the competitive sphere that they're in. So in the work that they do, and whatever goals that you, Crosswatcher, are focused on, whatever competition, whatever work, ambition that you're focused on, they see that. They see that you're focused. They see that you're working hard, right, to create this Ten of Pentacles feel. But they also see like a lack of emotion from you, like a lack of either wanting to be emotionally fulfilled or wanting any emotional connection, but also feeling maybe lonely without emotional connection. So either they're feeling, if this is a connection that you have with the Capricorn, like if you're their partner, they're either feeling like they're not getting the emotion they need from you. And if it's not someone that you're with, if the Capricorn is not someone that you're with, they're seeing you as someone who maybe is just kind of in their own world, focused on all the tangibles, right? So if you are interested in the Capricorn and this is you, just know that if you want them to know that you're interested in them, you're going to need to show them that you are more interested in focusing on your pentacles, that you are more interested in this than this rat race situation, that you do want more, because they seem to see you as shut down and even bored and kind of like, I don't know that I really even want to try anything emotional or romantic. Okay. For some of you, this is about creative work that you're doing with the Capricorn. And, they're seeing you as not that interested in the project or the work or the job that you're doing. They see you as somebody who wants that. You want the Ten of Pentacles, but they don't see you necessarily as somebody who's interested in working with them on that particular project that you're tuning in for. All right. With that said, let's move on to Aquarius. Hello. Those of you who are cross-watching for Aquarius, how are you? This is the Crosswatcher read for July 2024. And this is for those of you cross-watching for Aquarius. This can be for romance. It can be a crush. It can be friendship, coworker, neighbor, siblings, fill in the blank. Let's see what vibe your Aquarius is in here the month of July. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got the Two of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Five of Pentacles. So with the Two of Pentacles and the Lovers, out of the gate, your Aquarius is trying to decide between two paths. And the two paths can be work. It can be either a relationship, a romantic relationship. They're trying to decide between two people, or they're trying to decide between two places to live, or they're trying to decide between two very big decisions that would quite literally alter their day-to-day existence, basically. And there's a feeling here that there's a feeling that they sort of have to make a decision, and it's potentially something to do with their livelihood here. Regardless if the decision they have to make is between a relationship or a job or moving or whatever, the crux of that decision, or the crux of feeling the weight of having to make the decision, has to do with their livelihood. This may also be physical. This may also be something about them not feeling great in their body, right? Like feeling sort of either lonely, depressed, physically ill, rejected. It's almost like they have to decide between two things, but the thing they really wanted isn't even an option, isn't even one of the two things, right? So let's say they're deciding between two jobs, but the job they really wanted already rejected them. So now they're down to these two things, these two options. And it's getting down to the wire where they have to make a decision between these two options. So they're kind of in that energy of, you know. So if you're a friend, I hope you help them out with this. If you're a partner, anyone, whomever you are in their life, I hope that you are being a helpful person, because I feel the weight of this for them. So let's see how the Aquarius views you, beautiful Crosswatcher. The Tower. Did you cause this stress? Because look, we got you under the Tower. All right, the Tower, the Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. So a couple of things here. Number one, the first possibility of how they see you is that they see you as the friend that they didn't see coming. They didn't see you coming in the way that you're supporting them. Some of you are potentially supporting them financially or in a tangible way that's helpful, or you actually came to this reading to see if you should help them. And there's an indication here that you do. You have some power here, Crosswatcher, in helping this Aquarius somehow. And it's going to be a shock for them. And they're going to really realize that there's a deeper connection here in your connection, whether it's a sisterly connection, community, even romantic. But because of the situation, even if you are coming here from the romantic perspective, or you are a crush or something like that, that's not what the emphasis is about currently between the two of you, because they're trying to just get themselves out of this mess, right? Whatever this is. But whoever you are, they see you as a welcome surprise here with the Tower and the Three of Cups. They see you as somebody who is helping them have hopes for what they can potentially build in the future. You're inspiring them, you're encouraging them, and they're seeing that. They're seeing that, and you may have just come out of nowhere for them. Some of you may be kind of like a benefactor for them currently. You may also be someone that they're really excited to work with, or want to work with, or collaborate with. But it's a very soulful energy. And whatever it is that you're offering, Crosswatcher, it is welcome, as long as you understand that they do require some kind of support during this time. And that can come by way of community, soulfulness, gathering, listening to them, intellectual brainstorming about how to get out of the situation, or quite literally some financial or tangible support. Okay. Some of them, a lot of this is not even, a lot of this is physical. And support is that, being there for them, because some Aquarians here are going through some depression. Something was maybe even lost. All right, let's move on to Pisces. This is for those of you cross-watching for Pisces. Hello there. I hope you're doing fantastic. And you can come to these readings for love, romance, friendship, coworkers, just cross-watching, right? You're being a little nosy. So let's see what Pisces is up to the month of July. So this is for you if you're cross-watching for Pisces. Okay, it's not a Pisces reading, it's for the cross-watcher. All right. So what vibe is Pisces in? You know, I'm getting a lot of the repeat cards. Let's see. How do they view you? A lot of repeat cards this month. I think there's definitely, well, Saturn is in Pisces, so that makes sense, right? A lot of, if you as a cross-watcher have picked up on the Pisces readings, you'll notice that there's a theme where Pisces are beginning, or have been since last year, become more serious about something, more focused, right? Here in their vibe for the cross-watcher read, Pisces is focusing on becoming more stable. But they're in this very peaceful energy here with the Hermit of very much introspection, going inward and keeping people out. They're starting to learn how to create boundaries. And let me tell you, that's a beautiful thing, because one of the things that sometimes Pisces lacks, and yes, I know this is a generality, but in general, sometimes Pisceans lack boundaries. And with Saturn and Pisces, this right here, this is very Saturnian energy, right? Even though these are not Saturn cards, but the energy of being very good with blocking energies out that are not necessary, knowing when to go inward, knowing how to focus on your stability and your focus. That's what Pisces is going through right now. They're in a very peaceful no energy. Like right now, Pisceans are getting very comfortable saying no. No, thank you. I'm just going to stay home and watch a movie, read a book, play with my dog, and, maybe eat a pizza. Okay, maybe that's what I want. I don't know that that's what Pisces wants, but I definitely want a pizza. But anyway, with the Hermit here too, like this is opposite energy to Pisces, because the Hermit is ruled by Virgo. Virgo's on the opposite side of the same Pisces axis, right? So they're starting to really learn how to be okay with stability and strength like never before, truly, with Saturn there. Maybe like a few years ago, yes. But so in other words, the Pisces that you're inquiring about, they're just chill. They're in their world right now. They don't want drama. They're keeping drama out. They really don't want drama. They're in such a peaceful place right now. And the way they see you, the Hierophant, so some of you may be a relationship, you may be the spouse of the Pisces or the person interested in building something. The Hierophant, the Moon, and the Sun. So, and some of you may be Tauruses or Leos here, cross-watching or even other Pisces and Cancers cross-watching here for Pisces. They see you as somebody who gets it, who is tuned into your healer side, tuned into your intuition, you're tuned into your mastership, whatever it is that you do in the world. They see you as they have great respect for you here with this card. They do see you as somebody who's very intuitive, but also sometimes maybe a bit foggy and not too easy to access. And they do see you as someone who is very inspiring, fun, who's eclectic. I'm getting eclectic from the variants in these three cards. They're so different. These three cards are look at the colors. Look how different those are. And that tells me that they see you as someone who's maybe eccentric, eclectic. They do see you as someone who's very interesting. So if this is a romantic context, they definitely want to share in that with you. And they do see potential to go even deeper and more of the long haul with you. It's interesting. Typically the moon, I see it as something like the hidden, right? It is about the hidden and the things that we can't quite grasp and not sure if someone's telling us the truth. But in this context, I'm getting a whole different vibe from it. The vibe I'm getting from it is very, very intuitive, very peaceful. I feel like they see you as a very peaceful individual and as somebody who has a lot to teach and who has a lot of strength in your leadership capabilities. So if you're coming here from the romantic perspective, from a friendship perspective, it's the same vibe. It's this energy of great respect towards you. They want to open up. And with the moon here, it's almost like, I feel like they kind of want to hide you away. Like it's sort of like I'm getting the sense like they kind of want to take you with all your knowledge, all your brilliance, your beauty, what's captivating them, and sort of tuck you away and keep you for themselves somewhere hidden away. That's the vibe I'm getting. All right, well, that's it for me, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Come back for more. Check out other readings, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.